shake. Sorry, I have a very poor setup. Let me sit a lot closer, but I just have like a holder that holds my phone, and that's what I'm using for now. So this is the Woolly Bean podcast. My name is Juanita. This is episode 3, so just starting out. I questioned whether I was going to keep going. It's hard when you first start something to really get a feel for if other people want it or not, but I think I enjoy doing it, so I thought I would continue on. And I know there's some friends and other knitters that have expressed liking it, so I thought I would at least do it for them. I've got one FO, so one finished object for those of my friends who are newer to knitting. So one finished object, a few works in progress, mostly what I had last time. It's been a rough knitting year for me because of health, which I was actually going to talk a little bit about in this episode, and because of the business. The business has been doing really well, and that's taken a lot of my time. But let's see. And then I wanted to also talk about some sewing plans that I have. I'm going to, let's see, it's still September today, but very soon October, and I think they call it Slow Fashion October or something, and really focusing on either handmade wardrobe, recycled wardrobe, the simplicity of things, remaking something, and I really like the idea of that. A lot of my wardrobe, I do get hand-me-downs from a sweet friend, so I feel like that's a little repurposed. But there's a lot. I mean, I'm just starting to knit things for myself. I've knit so much for my children, and so I really want to start sewing some items for myself also. So I've got a few patterns that I purchased that I wanted to talk about, and some fabric on the way. So that'll be coming up, and then some shop news. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, well, I should tell you where you can find everything. I'm on Instagram, and it will be, I'll just put it like right here probably. So there's my Instagram handle. You can check out lots of pictures. I always put shop updates on there. I keep up to date on my knitting projects, as well as any of the anything I've sewed, bags for the shop or anything else. So that'll be there. And then I've got a new webpage. I decided to kind of test the waters, leave Etsy, and they made some changes to their policy recently, which is fine. It just had to do more with something about driving traffic towards your shop, and most of my traffic comes from Instagram. So I just felt like it wasn't something that was a need for me, and it was increasing the cost, and I didn't need that. So my new webpage is just woollybean.com, and so far so good, getting used to it still. So there's little tweaks you'll probably see in the future, but it's been really exciting. I feel like I'm stalling. I'm really sorry. I'm sitting on the floor. I'm in my girls' bedroom. They're not home right now. I'm by myself, and I don't know, the floor seemed like a comfy spot. I pulled I've got a big sheepskin rug, and I put it on the floor, and this room has windows like these, but all the way around, and this used to be my room, but we just recently switched. So yeah, I'm still in my room for an afternoon because they're away, and they're never works in progress. One is my Hoarfrost shawl. I feel like I've been working on it for a long time. Not because of the pattern itself. It's actually a pretty quick knit, and it's been really enjoyable. But so this is the Hoarfrost shawl by, I don't know if this lighting is going to give the best coloring, because it's not tan, it's very much gray. But the pattern is by Andrea Mowry, and I am using Simply Wool by Knit Picks. And it is knit on number 8. So I'm really impressed with the Simply Wool. Let's see, I know I've got more. This comes in some hanks like this. And I'm sorry if it's auto-focusing. I noticed in my last video that it was doing a lot of auto-focusing, and I was trying a new setting to see if that would adjust that, but I'm not sure. But the color is called Winkle. I'll show it on there. Simply Wool Winkle. And I can't remember how many hanks I bought. Got 3 left, and I just started this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I don't think I'm going to use them all, so that's really nice. And I'm not very far into the lace section, but it really, I mean, I don't know. I know sometimes people might get intimidated by certain, like, cabling might intimidate somebody, or just new stuff, but I really enjoy doing lace. Like, I think as long as the pattern is easy to memorize, which this I find to be very easy, because it's the only difference is going to be at the beginning and at the end, as it shifts, you know, when you shifts the row and then decreases or increases, and I just find it very, I don't know, relaxing to knit. So yeah, that is my Hoarfrost shawl. I told you the yarn, told you the needle size, told you the pattern. I think that's all I'm supposed to do. I feel like I didn't do that the first couple podcasts, so I'm trying really hard this time to remember. So I don't remember how much more on the this is what it looks like when it's done, if we can see that. And so I don't have a ton more, well, maybe I do, but of the lacing to do. Like, most of it is that, but I feel like mine's smaller than the picture. It's probably gonna block bigger, right? So this makes it seem big. But I'm excited. Like, this is my first shawl, and I'm really excited to wrap up in it. So, right, so that's work in progress 1, and then I am working on, it doesn't look like much. This is a test knit, not a secret one, so I can share. This is for Fox and Folk, Nora, and it's a toy. And it's a little mushroom, I think she calls like a sprite, or you can make it into a rattle, but this is basically just the top. So it has, let's see, I can share a picture without sharing secrets. Don't share the secrets. Let's see, so sweet. So it'll look like that. And I just have the top, so not a lot. My first time, I just used some scrap palette that I had, and I used it doubled, and then some scrap, it's from Knit Picks. I want to say it's the Brava. Nope, I never bought Brava. Mighty Stitch. It's just an acrylic merino blend. Super soft, easy to wash, which I thought would be good for a toy. And this is my first time doing French knots, so that was super fun. So nothing to look at really yet, but it's a little, it's my first toy too. So and then it's my socks. So you've seen these in my shop, my little pedal bags. I finally got one for myself, and I got super excited that accidentally the bottom almost matches like the pattern. So and I like how the sides are different. This fabric has been discontinued. I got it at Hobby Lobby, and the annoying thing is I had seen it several times when I would go. I don't buy a lot from Hobby Lobby. The prices are a little expensive to me. I can find stuff cheaper elsewhere, but if you hit the fabric at the right time or use their 40% off coupon, you can get, I think this is normally like $10 a yard, so with their coupon, it's a good deal. But I'd seen this fabric, and I just didn't grab it right away. But I finally, I was like, you know, I like it. Maybe they'll like it. And that's what I tend to do for what I pick to put in the shop. Like my fabrics, I know there's a lot of bag makers, a lot of really good ones, and everyone has their own style or things. And then sometimes people kind of, maybe they make something or design something because they see it with someone else. But I tend to gravitate towards stuff that I like that, you know, that's a fabric that I would use or pick. And so I'm gonna use that in my shop, and so that's what I try to do for all my bags. I design them for what I would like in a bag. Anyways, so my sock project bag, my whip inside, and not a lot to show. I just had started the fur socks by Melody Hoffman, Bee Mandarins, and I want to say last time I had started a shawl by her, which I then frogged. Nothing against the pattern. I can't remember if I was sending that as a gift or for myself. It was mostly to use the yarn, and then I decided, I think then I went to this. I don't remember. I don't even remember if this was in the last podcast. It's been so long. But anyway, so I got this yarn. Is from A Wooden Nest, and it's really hard to get the right color, but it is hand-dyed. I don't remember the base, but it's merino and something. So soft. And it's avocado, which normally when you dye with avocado it's like a pink, like the most beautiful dusty pink, and then she over-dyed it with iron, which I love the avocado pink. Like, I love it. I'm not saying that I wouldn't wear pink, because I've been surprising myself. Like, this is not something I normally wear. I just had crazy hair because I went to bed with it wet. So, I don't know. I'm 31 and trying new things. So, but I love, like, that's the color pink. I hate hot pink. I don't like hot pink. I'm very selective about, I don't like bright colors, or like neons, or I don't know. I just tend to gravitate towards things that are more earthy and subtle. So while I love the avocado pink, and I plan on doing some natural dyeing with my best friend, my knitting friend, Stacy, and so she and I are going to do a just play around with some avocado and so far walnut, because that's what we have access to. There's like a million walnut trees in my backyard, so I've been getting the my girls are toddlers, little, and that's their thing. I'm like, go get all the walnuts, put them in the basket. So they get real excited when they find one. And what was my point with that? Oh, so I just like that this color, like there's peaches that kind of show through, and I think in this lighting it's kind of coming across warm because it's the afternoon, but I really love the color. I think this is going to be really pretty, and I'll pull up the fur pattern for anyone that's not seen. I haven't even, like, this is the cuff, and then I haven't even gotten, like, I just started the little part of the main part, but I like the pattern of the socks because they're not as long as some others. Okay. Oh, there it is. And yeah, they're just really pretty, and they're textured. I seem to gravitate towards textured socks. I think there's only this one picture, so it's a little hard to see. I hope you can see it. So those are the fur socks, and kind of like just a little bit above. They're not ankle socks, but they're a little bit above, and yeah, I think this will look really pretty. And I had bought 2 skeins of these from A Wooden Nest, and so I gave one to another friend. She lives up in Missouri, and we started them together. We had a knitting day and we sat and started them together, and knowing that she is working on hers and I'm working on mine, there'll be like our best friend socks. I have a lot of best friends. I have a lot of really, really good friends, which is nice. So yeah, but that's the Lily Bean bag, a little logo inside, and then it's just one big pocket. This little cake is a little fat for it. Usually I have like a skein, but this still zips. And for something small like that, it's nice to just carry around. It's fun to squish. Okay, so my first sock's Hoarfrost, and the mushroom toy, I think that's the only whips I have, because, well, I do have my Chestnut, but I don't think I've worked on it because I put this down to work on the Hoarfrost shawl, so I don't think I have much more done on this, which I need to because it's fall now, and we're starting to have days or at nights that are in the 50s and 60s, and it's just enough of a, I don't know, to get you where you just want all the knit things. So yeah, I found this big, I'm a bag maker, so I shouldn't show a bag I didn't make, but I got this gigantic bag, I think from TJ Maxx, for $10, and it's like, feels like an old rug. The only thing I don't like about it is it has like a little bit of a, I think, what do they call it, Selena, like the shiny in it, and some of this black area, but I ignore it. And normally I'm not a tassel person, but I like that it looks like an old rug. And then I basically put all my knitting stuff in here. So my big project bag that has my Hoarfrost shawl and my sweater, my other project bag that I carry basically all my tools in, and then this one I usually keep out because I kind of keep it out to work on, but everything gets shoved in here. And then if I'm going to someone's house or going somewhere where I have no idea what I'm going to be doing, I bring this because I have everything with me. So, okay, so that's whips, and now I'm going to share an FO. My FO, it's half blocked and the ends are not woven in, so I don't know if it's technically an FO, but I sat down and finished, yeah, and there's still pins on it. But I finally finished my weekender, and there's people that I know that are going to be very proud of me because I've been working on this forever, and it is literally the easiest, well, it's a simple sweater. It's a simple sweater, but I have had a rough year. So I started this back in February, or no, maybe before. I don't remember. It's on my Ravelry page, I'm sure. But he started it forever ago and got sick and couldn't knit it. And then I thought I was gonna, like, I think the last time I showed it I had one sleeve done, but I ended up frogging that sleeve. I thought I would wear it basically like this with, you know, it's kind of like, what's that called? Drop sleeve. So I thought I'd wear it like that. I put it on and it felt good. I almost frogged the whole thing because, I didn't even show you. I'm talking about it, but I'm not even showing you. I almost frogged the whole thing because I put it on and I thought that it looked too, with the sleeve. The sleeves were tight, and I thought the body felt, I was like, I wanted it to be more drapey, and I wanted it to be more, like, I don't know. I've had 3 kids, and I know I'm small, but after you have 3 kids, you're not always comfortable with every part of your body, and I didn't want it to hug me in any part, anywhere. So before I did it, I messaged my call her my knitting mom, my friend Stacy and my friend Lauren, who is the one that we're knitting the same socks. They were together, and I messaged them and I was like, okay, I'm this close to frogging this sweater tonight, or do you think I should block it and just see? And I knew the answer, but they told me, of course, block it. And I did, and I let it dry, and I put it on, and it fit so good, and it had the right drape, and the weight of it feels good, and the fabric. So I haven't blocked the sleeves. I did try one on after I knitted the left one. But, okay, so I'll start over. This is the Weekender. I feel like every person that knits has either knit this or has it on their queue or in the middle of knitting it. So if you're a knitter, you know. It's by Andrea Mowry. And I used Knit Picks Stroll Tweed doubled. I used Dove Heather. Oh, I don't remember what the gray is, the other dark gray. I don't remember. Dove Heather and something. Whatever their medium gray in the Stroll Tweed is. And it works great. It's a little bit lighter of a fabric, I think, than it would have been with the recommended yarn. And I think that's probably why I had a little bit of fit issues. But Rachel from the Hey Sister podcast. Hello, Rachel. I hope you watch this. Not that I think you will, but hello. She knit a Weekender a while ago, and that's what inspired me. I mean, she used the same, different colors, but the same yarn, and hers turned out so pretty. Like, I think it was like a green, like a foresty dark green, and then I don't remember what the other color was, like a gray maybe. But anyway, so that's what gave me, I still wanted the mottled kind of, or marled look, but I didn't have a yarn that I could find. So I stole her idea, shared it, and it turned out good. So I've got to block it fully, like the sleeves, weave in the ends. Do you guys weave in the ends before? I feel like I'll weave in my ends first and then block it, because then the little ends will like settle just where they need to. But I'm home alone and I keep hearing sounds and it's making me a little, but I do have a cat. Oh, and an ice maker in the freezer, so I just ice maker. Anyways, I'm never alone. I know I have said that already, but I'm never alone. So it feels very weird to have the house be so quiet, and that's part of why I thought I would never podcast again, because I was like, I'm never alone, I can't do it. So it's my only FO. Sorry, but hopefully next time I will have my Hoarfrost for sure done, and maybe the Chestnut. Maybe, because I do want another sweater. But I was going to talk about some dream knitting, so I'm still not sure about how to transition between my subjects. So I'm just right now stopping and starting, so I'm still learning. Thank you for your patience. So I'm going to stop it. There was some meme of like this guy with his girlfriend, and he's like with her walking one direction, and he's like looking over his shoulder though at this other girl walking the other direction, and it said over the girl, his girlfriend, it said I'm gonna mess this up. I always mess up jokes. Like your current list of works in progress, and then the girl walking by it said like Ravelry, right? But that's what happens, is like you get so excited about what you're knitting, and you cast on, and you're making progress, and you want it to be done, and you want to wear it or gift it or use it, and then either you're on Instagram or Ravelry and you see usually for me it's Instagram, like someone else has finished something or they're working on something, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I want to knit that. I want to wear that. Right now, I do not think I'm going to get it this year, and probably by then, like, it'll be out of style. Not that I knit it for the style, because really most of it's like the comfort of it, but I don't remember the designer's name. It's the Tecumseh sweater. I know a lot of people, a lot of people are knitting it, and I think my preference is for the colors that it was originally done in. And there is what's her name? I feel like I owe it to these people to like know who they are, because they're not just Instagram accounts. They are real people. But I've seen it several times. I don't want it to be fitted. I don't want it, again, to hug my body. So I wanted it oversized, and this one person, I want to say her name is Annie. I feel like that's wrong. Her name doesn't say. Her Instagram account is Whistle and Thread. And she changed her profile picture. So, but she, like, insanely knits these sweaters so fast. I don't know how she does it. And she seems to like the same, like, ease that I do. So she'll knit one thing and I'm like, I have to go instantly to her Ravelry page and save it under my favorites, and I think, okay, I'm going to knit that next. And then I don't get to. So I have yet to knit something that she has. But I think I have this sweater saved, the Maggie cardigan that she did. Oh, don't be blurry. No, that one. Like, that is something I want. I just want it. Like, it looks so comfortable. And then her photos that she takes are so beautiful. And then her Tecumseh, especially like from the back, she knit it so big and just like look at that. It's like so drapey, and so I want it essentially exactly like she did it. Same colors, same fit. I think that's gonna be blurry because it's blurry on my iPad. Anyways. But it is by, she probably know, she's good, she'll say it's Boylan Knitworks, which is Caitlin Hunter. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Okay. So that's one of my dream knitting, but I don't think I'll get to it this year because I'm knitting my Chestnut cardigan, and I have yarn that I've already purchased for 3 more sweaters, which I keep fluctuating on what they will be. And oh, I should bring them. Okay, so after this segment I'll get them at least and show the colors, and then maybe you'll know maybe we can think of something together. But my friend Stacy is all into, like, she's just knitting sweater after sweater after sweater, and she's an amazing knitter. She just does that. She just like thinks of something in her, she just instantly knits it somehow. And I'm a fast knitter. I know I'm busy. I have 3 kids, and I know that's hard. So I need to give myself some credit, which I hear all the time. But, yeah, I just want, suddenly it's like, for a long time I've done a lot of knitting for other people. I was pregnant. Like, it felt like 3 years in a row. So a lot of baby sweaters and baby hats. And for a while I was knitting, as a business, and then I realized I don't want to knit for other people, I want to knit for myself. And that's why I started making bags, because then I saw project bags and I was like, oh, I want a project bag, but then I didn't want to pay for them, and I thought, oh, I can figure out how to sew. So anyways, I want to knit, well, the Tecumseh sweater, but I don't think I'll get to that. What I am going to cast on, though, because I have a problem, I keep just knitting one sock. I keep just doing that. So it's kind of dream knitting, but it's kind of have to knitting, because if I'm going to wear these, this one's been blocked. This is the sweater weather one. I've shared it, I think, on both podcasts by Tabby, the other Hey Sister. And which just to say on here, I am so flattered that Rachel and Tabby both bought one of my bags. I get, like, I don't expect to see it on there, and then to see one of my bags, like, sitting beside them, and then they're talking, and I know it's YouTube, and I know that this is just our community, so there's, like, a limited amount of people, but I got so excited. I was like, look at my bags. And then I knew when Tabby bought one, but I didn't know when Rachel got one. Like, I didn't even know that she was part of that update. So I, just finished my update, got everything sent out, and then it was like a surprise to this. I was like, what? So anyways, So she's been designing a lot of socks lately, and then she just released her first hat pattern. I bought it, and it's gorgeous. And so I gotta knit another sweater sock because I need a pair. And then blueberry waffle socks. This one hasn't been blocked, and again, I didn't weave in the ends. I swear I never had this problem before. I used to be really good about that, but I'm not anymore, so. Anyways, so I like, obviously, I'm not a flashy person. I'm kind of keeping it neutrals, but I love these. I'm so excited about wearing these. And then what do? You know, I start another sock. So I'll have 3 solo socks. So I've got to knit more socks. So that's something I'll probably have in the next podcast, is just hopefully finish socks. And then, I think what are my other, there was something else I wanted to, I was like, I keep thinking I want to knit a bunch of toys, but my kids have toys. Like, maybe I should sew toys for them, because I do have, like, look at this. This is crocheted, but crocheted toy from a family. These are crocheted from my big sister. She did these little bunnies for them. Like, it just keeps going. It just, my knitting mom, Stacy, made the little butterfly with the cocoons for the girls. They each have their own little one like these. Oh, there's like a video playing with. I thought that was distracting, sorry. But like, look how cute. Again, I did not knit these. These were all gifted to them. And then this little bunny, poor thing. She's missing an eye now, but she made this little thing. And then there's a, is he a bear? But anyway, I can't remember if he's a bunny or a bear. He's got a little bow tie and he goes with her, but he has a little hole in his arm. I've got to fix him. And then to go with a book, the penguin, it's about knitting. And she knit a little penguin. Like a little penguin, and he has his own scarf and his own little hat. And then it's the penguin and the pine cone. So check out that book if you're a mom for your kids. There's, oh, what's the other kid book? I actually stole it from my kids' bookshop and I put it in my bookshelf because it's like extra yarn. I think that's what it's called. I'll share it on my, I'll share pictures of these two. I think I may have shared pictures of the penguin before. Oh, I don't know, I think I got this knotted. But this little scarf goes around the pine cone, and that's part of the story too. But that's just, like, my kids are spoiled with homemade toys, so I don't need to make more for them as far as knit toys. So I'll probably sew toys for them. But I really want to just knit some stuff for myself. And I feel like most of it I want it to be sweaters. And for sure, Tabby's new hat, the gable hat. Do you guys keep all your, like, I always download my patterns because I usually buy them on Ravelry, and then I download them to my iPad. If I'm working off of, like, once I'm making that, I don't use it off my iPad because my kids always have my iPad. So I typically print my patterns out. But, oh, my stomach gurgled, sorry. But lately I've been doing it on my phone because, like, this, I had to use a row counter. Like, she tells you in the notes, you need a row counter, and I needed one, and I didn't have one. And so I found a really cool app that I could download. Like, you can put the pattern in the app, and then the counter's right on the page. So I've been doing that for this one and for the Weekender. But typically I like a written pattern just because I don't like to have to turn my screen on and off and whatever. But all my patterns are, like, on my iPad. I think I was on Dream Knitting, and now I'm just talking about other stuff. So I'm just going to keep talking. I'm just going to meld. This is just going to be what it is. I'm sorry. It's been a while. Not that that's an excuse, because I haven't been doing this very long, but I'm just going to talk. I've just started watching Chestnut's, her podcast, and she recently had the tiniest, little, cutest baby girl. I can't remember her little girl's name, but ironically, I know her dog's name, her little pug's name is Esther. But I can't remember her girl's name. But she's so sweet. And I had discovered her before, and I think at that time I had too many podcasts to watch and catch up on, and so I kind of got overwhelmed. Like I was watching The Gentle Knitter and catching up on Hey Sister, and now, but I don't know, like there's something about, I think her name's Stacy, on Chestnut. She's just, it's her personality like that has drawn me to following her on Instagram and to her podcast. And I watched the most recent one. I'm not caught up. There's like a million, I think she's like on 60 something, and she's so comfortable and real that I was like, that's what gave me the motivation. I was like, because I was thinking, you know what, there's a million podcasts and I'm just starting out, and the last one had, you know, like this many views, and I hate that YouTube shows you the average like minute time when people stop watching it, because then I think, oh, they're done after that many minutes. That's cool. But then again, it's like those people that are doing that, like I'm not making it for them. But she got on there and she's just like, she has stuff going in the background for something with her business, and her dog's running around. She's playing with her dog, and I think she had like baby spit up on her shirt. And I was just so thankful for the reality of it, because that's how it is. Not just, I mean, for sure as a mom, but then life. Like life is messy and life is hard. So that's what made me motivated. I was like, I'm going to get on there and I'm going to podcast. And I was really sure that I was going to just do it. I was like, I'll put a little bit of makeup on, but I'm just going to do it in my PJs. But then I put on a clean shirt, and I put this on to hold down the flyaways, and I did put some lipstick on. So not as real, but to be fair, it has been an insane week, and I've had puffy crying eyes, and I've been, I think earlier in the week, I was like in the same shirt for like 4 days. So, I mean, I showered since then. But I was like, I'm going to put makeup on. I have plans later, so I'm going to put makeup on and put a clean shirt on and a bra on and feel nice for it. Because my other, like, one I always love watching is Lindsay from A Wooden Nest, and her production of it is so professional. It's really nice, but then also she's very comfortable. Like sometimes her hair is still wet from a shower, but it always comes across really nice. And so I didn't want it to look like I'm trying too hard, but I also sometimes I need a little bit of something shiny, because the rest of my life feels like it's so crazy. So anyways, this is not how I always look, but when I shower, it's a little better. Okay, so I talked about dream knitting, whips and FOs, and I wanted to talk about a little bit of sewing. I don't have anything to show. I just, for October, I think there's a hashtag called, and maybe an account on Instagram called Slow Fashion October, pretty sure. And I'll put it here if I'll look it up. I'll try to remember to do that. But did I mention this already? I may have. Anyways, the point is that I want to sew myself some clothes, and I bought the Hinterland pattern dress pattern, and then I bought I believe it's called the gypsum skirt. There's several skirts that are a little bit similar that I was like, oh, I want that one. Like Made by Ray, she's got, I think it's the Cleo skirt that I really like. basically where it's a little fitted on the waist. It could be a little higher, or, you know, a waistline, but I don't mind like a higher skirt, but waistline or hip, but fitted here, gathered, and then just loose. And then I like to wear, it could be a looser top or whatever, something tucked in. I just find it so comfortable. And I was like, you know what? If I buy those kind of, like, it's hard, number one, to find those kinds of skirts to buy. Sometime I found them at the thrift store, but they're usually vintage, and the waists are insanely small. And I usually find them like winter styles, like a wool one or something. So as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, like, we dress up a couple times a week for our meetings or when we go in our volunteer Bible education work. And I don't get to do that as much as I used to now that I have my kids, but so I don't have to wear a skirt as much. But I was like, I want to wear it at home. Like, that's comfortable, especially when you have fluctuating weight and there's blue jays jumping outside. Sorry. There's rows of Sharon bushes all outside this side of the window, and there's like 2 blue jays. They're bouncing around, and I am easily distracted. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, like the ease, like when I come home from meeting and I'm like still wearing a really comfortable dress or a really comfortable skirt, like sometimes I don't want to change, because when you have, not that my weight fluctuates a ton, but there's a difference from a 4 to a 6, or sometimes a 6 to an 8, and you put on those pair of pants, or even just like when it's that time of the month and you are super bloated, or you've just eaten a ton of pasta, like, you want an elastic waistband. And I think that's why I went with the gypsum skirt. I kind of fell in love with So Liberated on Instagram, her feed, and the outfits she puts together, and I'm trying to remember what she called it, like something about eclectic teacher or something, like the look on someone with like layering necklaces and stuff. And I'm not quite there, but I love that look. And I want to make that skirt, and the gypsum skirt has these giant pockets, and I just can picture like putting stuff in them. You can do it without the pockets too, but so I bought some Hoffman linen rayon blend in an olive color. So it's machine washable, dry flat, and I got 4 yards. I'm pretty sure that's way over what I needed. I don't really remember why I got that much yardage, but I think I was not quite sure on the length. I'm like going to go between knee and midi, and but I want it to be really heavily gathered. I don't know what the pattern calls for, but I know on my daughter's dresses, when I've made them, like the geranium dress, I've over gathered the waist, and it just, I don't know, I like when fabric has a good drape and you do that, I thought it would look nice. So I'm going to make an olive version of that skirt, and then for the hinterland dress, it's a super beautiful, basic, very simple style. I think it has several sleeve options. I don't know if that's in the pattern or just what people have done, but like a half sleeve, a short sleeve, no sleeve, and the bodice, it buttons. I've seen versions where it buttons all the way down. Again, I haven't looked at the pattern because I'm lazy, and I'm just waiting for my fabric to come. But I am trying to but I'm trying to get through my orders so that I can then just focus on some sewing for myself. So that's my 2 planned. I was going to buy a bunch more fabric, and I was like, I'm going to make 3 skirts, I'm going to make 3 dresses, and then I was like, okay, be realistic. Get through 1 skirt, 1 dress, make sure you like them, and I'm going to use some of my fabric that I don't like and make some practice skirts and dresses first, because I'm trying to be smart. And I've never made anything for myself, like sewn wise, so a little nervous about fit. I slouch. I'm sorry. I'm not going to slouch so bad. Okay, so that's my dream sewing, and I will share on the next podcast, whenever that may be, hopefully soon, I'll share my progress, and hopefully I've made them by then, and I'll for sure have the fabric anyways if I've not made them, but I think I'll at least have one made, so I'll share that. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about, let me stop this and then button, and I take a picture of myself and I'm just sitting there, so those will be fun to look at. I wanted to talk about some shop news, and then just kind of blend that in with talking about kind of what's going on here at home and my health, because I think it's something that's very relatable for women and moms, and I don't know, maybe it'll bring us together, or someone will feel supported or encouraged knowing that there's someone else going through stuff. So basically with the shop, this week has been extremely rough on my end, on like just personal stuff. I, for the first time this year, started dealing with anxiety and depression. I thought I had had depression before. I don't think I did. But this year, I for sure have. And it started back in February out of nowhere, and it turned, finally, I went to the doctor right away, even though I didn't have insurance at the time. I was really limited on what I could afford to do, but tried natural approaches, then got very scared and desperate and went on medication, and then changed medication, and I was having severe panic attacks that would come and go, that would fluctuate with my cycle, and it basically lasted from my when I would ovulate until I would start my cycle, like have a period, and then I would have maybe 4 or 5 days of normal feeling days, which is really hard because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 3 kids, 5, almost 4, and 2.5, and now I homeschool my son, and then run my business out of my home. So my husband works away from home, and his schedule, he's a manager at can I say it? Chili's? I don't know. I don't know why I would go. I was like, should I just say restaurant? I don't know. Anyways, he's a manager, and so his schedule fluctuates a lot, and he's at work a lot. I've had my knitting mom, Stacy, has been extremely helpful through this time. Like, anytime she could, she came and dropped everything and came and helped me. And then a few close friends that live in our same little town, because we live in a little lake town in northern Arkansas. They also were amazing in helping with the kids or with me. So that was really hard for a long time. I would kind of disappear off Instagram for a month or a few weeks and distance myself from friends, except for the friends that wouldn't let me. And then they finally started me on hormone birth control. And that's when we found out that's what it was, that my hormones I was not making enough progesterone. So we're still figuring things out, and that's what's been frustrating this week, is that kind of a lot of that's resurfaced. And I had this idea that I was better, and then to suddenly have panic attacks again, and depression and more anxiety made me feel really broken and confused and scared and incapable of doing anything. And so I was very close to closing down my shop, even though I love that work. Like, we have a room that's just, it's attached to our house, but it's like you go off the laundry room down a couple steps, and there's this big long bedroom, you could say. It has a bathroom and then some big closet space, and it's like a weird shape. It's long and skinny, but like, we all have bedrooms up here, so it's my little studio space. And excuse me, I love going down there and playing music or listening to podcasts or NPR and working and sewing, and like, it would be my dream to just be able to go down there every day, like first thing in the morning, early, and work. With kids, it's not always possible, so I do it as I can throughout the day. But anyways, I just started thinking that maybe I wouldn't be able to work because I need to focus on the kids, and I need to focus on homeschooling my son and getting through the day, and all of those things were becoming really hard to do in just a matter of a few days. Like, suddenly I felt like things were crumbling. So I'm doing better today. Had a bad day yesterday, but today is really good. So all of that said, I'm going to keep the shop open, but as soon as I finish up, I have about, I think, 5 orders left to send out. One of them is huge. Like, I think it's for 9 bags, and I've never had someone order that many at one time. So that person, like, their friends are going to be super happy, because she mentioned that they were gifts, and I was like, this is an awesome person to have for a friend. But so I have, you know, I don't know, I can't remember exactly the number of bags I have, but I have 5 orders left, and then I'm not going to put any more in the shop. Like, I'm not going to do any pre-orders for a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, make sure that I am, I have a doctor's appointment on Monday, and just make sure that I don't want to say get better again, because I don't know what my normal is anymore. But I just know that this week has been rough, and I don't want to make any decisions until I'm in a better place. So I'm not going to close it up, but I'm going to take a break, and I'm meanwhile just going to knit, and I'll probably start working, because I keep saying that I want to make some larger bags. Like, I'm trying to find a way to combine this bag, like my zipper bag, with the larger bag, because this holds sweaters so nice, but that's about it. Like, there's no pockets in it. It's just basic. So I'm trying to think, I don't know if I would put a pocket on the outside. That's one option, because I want to kind of keep it simple. I don't want to like line it, because I want to keep the price low, so that way, because I feel like there's a lot of sweater knitters, and it's nice to have something big without paying a big price, right? So I'm gonna make, I'm sorry, that's really fun to do, and I don't mean to keep doing that, but at the same time, like this one, it's got all the pockets inside, and it holds all your stuff, and that's super convenient. So I'm still trying to, I think I might make one simple one for, I think you just have one large pocket, and then a sweater bag, and then maybe a larger, I mean, maybe not even so much as big as this, but, oh man, it's not out of focus. Okay, sorry. Something big, not big like that, but something you can put a larger project in, but then still have like ability to open it up and see some pockets for storage and organizing your tools, because I love to organize. Ask anyone I know. Not you could do that, but I have this thing about things being, I'm not a perfectionist. This room right now is a mess. There's kids' toys everywhere, but I spend a ridiculous amount of time coming into my kids' little tiny play kitchen and sorting the food and putting the utensils in a cup on the edge. My husband was making fun of that. He's like, why is there a tiny cutting board and a little cup of wooden spoons? And I was like, because that's what I would want in my tiny kitchen. Anyways, but I for sure am going to try to have the shop back open by like Black Friday, because I know that's a big, like, people save their money. I never do. I never remember, but people save their money and they're planning on shopping a lot of times you're buying gifts, and so I would like to have like a good stock by then, and I've got a lot of fabric that I do need to use up, so I'm hoping by then, because it's almost October, and that'll be the end of November, so good time to heal and knit and make things for the shop. But I'll of course keep put updates on Instagram, and yeah, I think that's where I update. So I think that's it. I can't think of anything else that I wanted to share, because I shared about myself, and then that was what I wanted to share about the shop, just that I'm gonna not put stuff in it just right now. But anyway, so thank you guys for watching. You can find me on Ravelry as, I think it's JJ Doucette. And then you'll find me on Instagram as @woollybean. And my website is woollybean.com. And I'm pretty sure through there you can email me if you need to. And I sadly can be, I mean, it's convenient for you, but I'm very attached to my phone, or there's always something around me. So I always, if you email me, send me a message on Instagram. Instagram's a little harder because it doesn't always notify me on there, but I usually check at least weekly. But I'm pretty good about responding. So ask me anything. If you have a question about a bag, if you can't wait until November for some reason, like you just have to have one, let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching. So see you next time. Bye.